Hey guys, and welcome to this tutorial on how to make a Tudor inspired pot. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to create a pot with a shield, explain what recess and relief is, what tools to use and how to glaze. So let's get started. So you'll need some clay, we're using terracotta today, a hessian mat to stop the clay from sticking to the table, a rolling pin and some guide sticks. The first thing you want to do is place your clay on a hessian mat and give the clay a few hits with your rolling pin just to flatten it and start the process off. The next thing you need to do is place your guide sticks either side of the clay and keep rolling until your clay is the same thickness as the guide sticks. Rolling clay out isn't an easy thing, so if you're not tired by the end of it, you haven't been doing it correctly. The next thing you need to do is measure out a 40 by 13 centimetre rectangle. Sketch it out first, then cut it and take away the excess. Then peel it off, coil it into a pot shape, place it onto the board. Do not attach anything together, you're just simply shaping it for now. Now with your leftover clay you need to repeat this process, so you need to roll out the clay again, making sure you use your guide sticks to create a 15 by 15 centimetre square. Sketch it out first and then cut it. Once you have your square, sketch out a shield shape and then cut it out and place it on the board next to your pot. So that's the first stage done. If you're planning to leave the clay overnight, you must cover the clay with a wet towel and put it in a plastic bag to keep the clay moist, so next time you want to use it, it's more manageable. Now moving on to what tools to use. This is a clay knife. It's good for cutting out and fine detail. These are recess tools. These are great for taking away clay, adding texture and pattern. Now let's talk about slip. Slip is just basically clay and water mixed together. This is kind of the clay's version of glue, so when you want to attach two pieces of clay together, this is what you use as glue. Making a key or scoring. This is the process you use to attach two pieces of clay together. The first step is taking a cutting tool and making a cross-hatch effect on the area where you want to attach the new piece of clay. Now take the bit you are attaching and do the same cross-hatching technique on the back. Add some slip and then attach the two pieces together. Now moving on to creating your shield, so you'll need your original design for this, and the next step is dividing the shield into four. 2 of the 4 areas on your shield is going to be recess. This is where you take away clay to make other areas look like it's standing out. It's also very important at this stage that everything is nice and smooth, so use your fingers and tools to smooth the clay out, because once it's fired there's nothing more you can do. So that's the 2 recess parts done. Now moving on to relief. So relief is where you add things onto your clay. So look back at your design and see what areas you really want to stand out. So for example, I'm making a camera and a palette to mine, as that's what I've designed. I'm simply just taking some excess clay and making my camera and palette out of that. Make sure you score and slip along the way, because if you don't, things will fall off when you put it in the kiln. So that's the shield done. Now moving on to the pot. You want to score and slip both edges of the pot, then push the 2 edges together and with your finger sort of swipe across so the 2 edges attach. Make a sausage and place it on the inside to strengthen the seams. Then smooth over the front, and that's that done. And now we can start adding pattern to our pot. So go back to your design and see what you've done and try and recreate it using the cutting tools and recess tools. Now it's time to stick your shield onto your pot. So you want to do your cross-hatching technique down the centre of the back of the shield and also on the pot. And make sure you use lots of slip this time when attaching the shield to the pot. So we're done, we've created our pot. Now it's time for it to get fired in the kiln. After about 24 hours and approximately 1000 degrees, your pot should be ready. Now it's time to glaze or paint your pot. What you're going to do now is pick one colour and paint all those areas first. So I'm picking red, so I'm going to paint all the areas I want red first, then I'm going to go back and give it a second layer, and then back again for a third. You need to make sure you do a minimum of 3 layers of each colour to make sure that the pigment is really strong and it's not streaky. After you finish with the first colour, then pick your second, do the same process and repeat until your whole pot is painted. Back in the kiln it goes for another 24 hours Then hey presto, we have a fully glazed pot. And we're done! So now we're finished with our pot. Hopefully you've learnt a few things like what tools to use, what scoring and slip is, and what recess and relief is. Hope you enjoyed this video guys, thanks for watching and I hope to see you all again soon.